Christmas season is sweeping across the Disneyland Resort. Genie Plus infrastructure is popping up in both theme parks, and construction continues on a variety of projects. There's a lot to talk about. Let's go to Disneyland. What's going on, friends? Wade for the Kingdom Report back with you once again, covering all the latest news, trending topics, and stories coming out of the Disneyland Resort. Today, heading on up the long route to the Mickey and Friends parking structure. Yes, the walking route continues to be in effect until early 2022, when they have announced that trams will be returning. But until then, parking will cost you $30. That is the new price. And in addition to that, if you have mobility issues, you do need to be aware the ECV supply over at the parking garage is very small at this point, and you are still required to walk even if ECVs are out. So, if you need a ride to the front of the parks, we do encourage you, as always, to park in the Toy Story parking area off Harbor Boulevard. They will provide you bus service to the front entrance of Disneyland. Inside Disneyland Park we go, where Sleeping Beauty Castle has transformed into Sleeping Beauty's Winter Castle. We saw portions of it being decorated last week, and this week it is just about tapped out in terms of complete overhaul as well as lighting and icicle effects. Can't wait to see what it looks like on November the 12th when the holidays kick off at the Disneyland Resort. Further back into Fantasyland we go, where the flume has been drained around It's a Small World as it continues its work, becoming It's a Small World Holiday. Sounds like it might just open up on November the 10th, ahead of the November 12th kickoff. The Castle Holiday Shop, located directly across from the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in Fantasyland, has closed its doors. We were just in here a few weeks ago, and now there is even paper over the windows. Interesting to say the least is now the Plaza Point Holiday Shop has opened on Main Street, USA, a similar theme and a much bigger location. And speaking of Main Street, USA, we move on up to the Emporium, the largest store inside of Disneyland Park, to check out some of the new holiday-themed merchandise hitting the shelves here, from your throw pillows to your long-sleeve shirts, and yes, even the famed Christmas sweaters. You just can't beat the selection of merchandise this time of year. We move on into New Orleans Square, where they have decked their halls, and it is my favorite of all of the locations inside Disneyland Park during the holiday season, mainly because it's just so classy, and that is one thing that New Orleans Square has always sort of espoused, and every single balcony is decorated differently for the sake of reflecting that tenant, that owner, that proprietor. Something that definitely allows you to sort of get lost in the details is walking through New Orleans Square during this time, including the yet-to-be-revealed store that we believe is affiliated with the Princess and the Frog franchise. It also received a bit of a holiday makeover. If you have a chance to swing on through New Orleans Square, it is worth a peek. We slide on into Critter Country now, where they too have received a bit of the holiday touch. Splash Mountain's barn receiving garland. You see the mini adventures of the Winnie the Pooh attraction also receiving its unique themed garland. The attention and the details once again. Honey bees as well as honey-soaked fruit items within their wreaths and garland, and so much to see back here in terms of decor. But you won't see one silly old bear, and that is because Winnie the Pooh himself still meets up near the castle at this point, right along the central hub area. We slide from Critter Country on into Tomorrowland, where it is time to take a look at the Finding Nemo submarine voyage progress in the bay itself, as we see the lagoon has been drained and so much work continues in this area to get the subs back by early 2022, winter of 2022 to be specific. Elsewhere in Tomorrowland, it's worth noting that the Magic Key Passholder Lounge that has been open for the last few months, well, it is closed now. We told you it was going to dissolve on October the 30th, and they didn't waste any time. It is gone. Now the Starcade location, empty until further notice. As mentioned in past updates, the monorail has been back with us for just about 2 weeks at this point. I've been on Monorail Red in multiple cabins and have shown you just exactly what it looks like on the inside. Well, these are shots from the inside of Monorail Blue, the other monorail on the track right now. Just be advised that the horrendous conditions of Monorail Red do extend over to Monorail Blue, and this is something you will be exposed to in either monorail, it appears at this point. We leave Tomorrowland and head into ToonTown, where Minnie Mouse was saying hello in front of her newly decorated home. Mickey's house also receiving the holiday treatment. Donald's boat, too, got his own version of Christmas cheer. Goofy's house also decorated, and the areas within downtown ToonTown also taken care of. Daisy's Diner and the restaurants here receiving a bit of Christmas overlay, even though they have now officially covered up the windows at Daisy's Diner. We've been telling you that these food locations in ToonTown haven't been open since Disneyland officially reopened, and they look to remain that way, even though they got some Christmas add-ons. The Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin attraction also received its holiday overlay and a new addition. That's right, the Lightning Lane signage has been installed for the sake of the Genie Plus program coming to the Disneyland Resort, they say, this fall. It's very interesting as the Lightning Lane signage is now being installed in certain places. We still see FastPass distribution signage in areas that used to house the FastPass machines that had been removed about a month ago, and that signage still remains. Speaking of signage, we move on into Fantasyland, where you see that the sign for the Fantasyland Theater, the marquee, is still under wraps at this point. No movement back here, and it does appear that what we can see still looks like the old signage. We move into Adventureland, where, interestingly enough, the Tarzan's Treehouse sort of emergency refurbishment that was going on was slated to come back to us in late October. Unfortunately, the date has come and gone, and now there is no date for Tarzan's Treehouse to return. And right alongside Tarzan's Treehouse, the Indiana Jones Adventure attraction is something you should be aware of if you are heading to the Disneyland Resort here in the coming weeks, as it will be under refurbishment November 8th through the 10th. From Adventureland to Frontierland we go, checking in on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is wrapping up its refurbishment and is set to be back with us come November the 4th. Looking forward to having this e-ticket attraction back in the ranks. And the Pelicans Landing two-tiered seating area attached to the Harbor Galley restaurant is something still underway at this point, as Harbor Galley remains closed under its refurbishment, returning to us in a few weeks in mid-November. You see concrete has been poured for the two-tiered seating area and is settling, as well as the two-tiered structure now being constructed. And the sailing ship Columbia still in dry dock, being worked on until November the 24th. Before we head over to California Adventure, wanted to make mention across from the Disneyland Resort main entrance on Harbor Boulevard, the Captain Kidd's Buffet, which has been open for decades, looks to be no more. As signage is gone, the restaurant has been emptied out. Potentially a new tenant is going to move into this very prime real estate. Also, just off of Harbor Boulevard, behind California Adventure, we saw the various food booths being primed and prepped for their debut during the Festival of Holidays over at California Adventure. These marketplace food booths offer up a variety of holiday tasties, and it starts on November the 12th, running all the way through January the 9th. Something else worth mentioning is if you are a park hopper going from one park to another starting at 1 p.m. when it is allowed, be advised lines still continue to back up from one main entrance almost to the other main entrance for the parks, and that does typically take about 15 to 20 minutes.
Who's the leader of the club that's made for you and me? Let's hear it. M-I-C-K-Y-M-O-U-S-E. That's good. Favorite high to hold, they're yours as welcome as can be. Again. M-I-C-K-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Don't make me bow. Don't make me bow. Forever let us hold our banner high, 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 high. Come along and sing a song and join the jamboree.
Five and Dime singing that Mickey Mouse Club march along Buena Vista Street. Elsewhere along Buena Vista Street, wanted to drop into what used to be the Kingswell Camera Shop, the Photo Pass location. We all know that Photo Pass has moved out to a central location in the Esplanade now. Here in recent months, they vacated both Main Street Photo Supply as well as the Kingswell Camera Shop here in the parks. And we see that another sign has taken the place of the last two signs that used to be in here, basically telling you where to go. This one is accurate, fortunately, telling you to go to the Esplanade. But we understand that this shop is ready to debut or re-debut in a new capacity on November the 13th. Over in Hollywoodland, Disney Junior Dance Party returned in October and is performing to sellout crowds 6 times a day in this venue, proving furthermore that there is a real hunger for live entertainment to return to the Disneyland Resort. In the Hollywood Pictures backlot area of the park, it's sort of in a state of flux at the moment. The Stage 17 location remains the backlot shop, which just basically has all Avengers apparel. Across from that, the studio store, all Avengers apparel. You also have Avengers Campus themed Mickey and friend characters wearing their favorite hero jerseys that meet and greet on the stage. You also have prop photo ops that you can go take your pictures in front of, whether it be from Disney Plus or hero specific. but this area just remains sort of in a state of flux where Avengers Campus is open, the Avengers don't come back here anymore, and it's all surrounding Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue. It's unfortunate to say the least, because it's a mishmash of everything, and it doesn't really seem to have a cohesive theme, so we are looking to hear from you. What do you think should go in the Hollywood backlot section of the park? Leave it in our comments section. Speaking of Avengers, Black Panther and Falcon America were out saying hello on this day. We move from there into the Grizzly Peak Airfield area, where homemade Christmas decor has been strung up in the trees, from your candy canes to your popcorn and berry strings, and yes, even your Santa-themed windsocks. Very important to have. In addition to that, garland wrapped around paddle boards line the area surrounding Grizzly River Run, and of course, you gotta get the stores in on the action. Russian River Outfitters also receiving the holiday treatment. But let's step back to Grizzly River Run for a second, as this attraction now has a lightning lane sign added for the new Genie Plus service. In addition to a lightning lane at this attraction, well, it also appears to still have a Fast Pass line. Yeah, all pointed in the same direction. No doubt the Fast Pass signage will be removed in the coming weeks. It's just kind of funny to see this conflict of interest happening right now, where you have double expediency opportunities for the sake of this ride. And over in the Pacific Wharf region of the park, Pacific Wharf Cafe is all decorated up, what with its sourdough bread loaves in the garland. I absolutely love that attention to detail as well. And from there, we slide on over to Pixar Pier, where yes, the most unsightly of things continues to happen, and that is all of the groundwork for World of Color. We've been covering this for you for the last few months as work has gotten underway, and to their credit, they've been trying to cover things up as much as possible. Very hard to do when you have something of this size in this portion of the park, but they are adding as much black scrim to the unsightly pipes and work that needs to be done for the sake of making it look at least a little more desirable. We had been speculating that they were going to completely rebuild the areas dedicated to the lighthouses. Looks like now that is exactly what's going on. Skeletal structures, everything. They are rebuilding it from the ground up. From here, we trot into Paradise Gardens Park, where Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta has a menu scan available right outside of its location, telling you open up your Disneyland app and order up your food. Only this restaurant, Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, has not reopened since Disneyland has reopened. We touch on it every few updates. It still remains closed at this time, so no pizza and pasta in this section of the park. And in addition to that, this section of the park is putting up Christmas decorations right now for the sake of welcoming back a holiday classic. Viva Navidad returns as the holiday season kicks off November the 12th. Outside we go to downtown Disney, where the World of Disney store has recently received its holiday overlay. Let's stop off inside and check out all of the Christmas cheer. No doubt plenty more holiday decor still to come across the resort. And as a reminder, the Magic Key program has announced that the top-tier Dream Key, the key without blockout dates, well, it has officially sold out at this point. So if that was something you were looking to buy somebody for the holiday season, you're out of luck. You might have to go with the Believe Key now. My friends, that about does it for us. It looks like you are up to date. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel with that notification bell turned on. Hit that thumbs up button if we've earned it. And for the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another edition of the Disneyland Drop-In.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.